All right. This is the Civil Service Commission regular meeting. Today's Tuesday, January 21st, and I call this meeting to order at 5:34. And I would like us to agenda item number 1, the Pledge of Allegiance. Please follow me.
Ready, salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, a nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice.
All right, thank you. Next item is public comment. This time is made available for comments from the public on matters within the Civil Service Commission's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. And doesn't look like we have any guests here. How about online? No. All right. We will move forward with our consent calendar.
I move for the adoption of the consent calendar.
I second it.
All right. We have a motion and a second. We will now take roll.
Commissioner Atwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
Commissioner Iverson.
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
5-0 vote to approve.
All right. Thank you. And that moves us over to regular business. And first up on the agenda is item 4A, election of president and vice president for 2025. So consideration of approval of the recommendations of the Civil Service Commissions for president and vice president for 2025. And I know in the past we've kind of went in order, rotating order. We can proceed as follows, or if anybody has any other recommendations, now would be the time to voice your opinion.
And good evening, Commissioners. Sabrina Mendez, Department of Human Resources. Our recommendation is to continue with our past practice of rotating in inverse order. So that would mean Commissioner Fry would be elected as president and Commissioner Iverson as vice president.
All right, any discussion from the board?
I move that those recommendations be voted on and approved, or as a slate.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Commissioner Iverson?
Nothing.
Because your name's on there. All right. At this time, I'd like to call for roll on that motion.
Commissioner Atwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Iverson. Yes. Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
5-0 to approve.
All right. I get to leave. Oh, is this the last meeting? Is that effective next meeting, right?
It's typically effective right after you vote, but it's however you like. If you'd like to.
Are you in a hurry to get out?
No, we'll keep moving here.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead. Finish
All
it.
right. Give me one last
Yeah, hurrah.
hoorah in the seat. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I got to pass the torch here. All right, so regular business 4B, this is the amendment of child support attorney 1 through 4 classification specification, discussion and consideration of revision of classification specification for child support attorney 1 4.
Yes, good evening again, Commissioners. Human Resources has amended the classification in an effort to help with recruitment of candidates. The updates are to the education and experience section and the licenses and certification section, which are now less restrictive. The bargaining unit was given the opportunity to review and is in agreement with the proposed changes, and I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Just for the sake of time and out of respect for the people who are listening in, what do you have a bullet point of major changes that were made?
Sure, I can go over those. So they're pretty similar for this item and the next succeeding items. So let me go.
And Commissioners, I just want to add, I asked the question to respect our, employee pay scale surveys that we just recently taken, which take into consideration those qualifications when giving those salaries. So as we reduce them, we just want to remain conscious of that, right?
Yes, so for child support attorney, the change that was made was the child support attorney 2 level required 2 years of experience. We've changed that to 1 year, so they can now promote after 1 year, or we can recruit with 1 year of experience. And so this is similar to what we had in place prior to the class and comp study. So the class and comp study did modify those requirements, and so we're just changing those back. Um, just from past experience, this position and all of the related positions, they are hard to recruit and hard to fill, so we do have continuous postings recruiting for this position. So that's why what prompted this, in addition to feedback from the department. So it wasn't an effort to attract candidates because there is a shortage throughout the state. So it's not just our county, it's all over California. So the other significant change was in the licenses and certification section. And so this really pertains to the 1 level. So this allows to have possession of the membership and the state bar at the time of appointment rather than when they apply. So this allows them to go through the recruitment process. And then if selected, we would allow them to, during that time to receive their bar results and have their license.
Okay. And that timing doesn't affect, going through the process of hiring and then they maybe not pass their bar or.
So yes, so it is contingent. So their movement through the recruitment process would be contingent on, so they wouldn't be able to be offered a position unless they met all of these requirements.
Okay.
It just makes the process a lot more efficient.
Sure. And the classification of a 2 versus a 1 is more of a marketing piece, for the job, right? Enticing people to apply because
Yes,
I'd imagine it comes with higher compensation, et cetera.
correct. Yes, there
Okay.
is a different compensation, and the 1 level is really entry level, so it requires no experience in just the bar certification or membership.
All right. Commissioners, any other questions? All right. With no public comment or discussion, I would like to entertain a motion.
Moved.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second, and I will call or ask for a roll.
Commissioner Iverson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Atwood?
Yes.
Commissioner Rios?
Yes.
Commissioner Perez?
Yes.
5-0 vote to approve.
All right. Next item. This is 4C, amendment of Deputy Council 1 through 4 classification specification.
Yeah, so as with the previous item, Human Resources has also amended the classification of Deputy County Council 1 through 4 to help with the recruitment of candidates. The updates are also to the Education and Experience section and the Licenses and Certification section. And this classification is unrepresented, and so there was no requirement to notice a bargaining unit.
All right. I do have a question. If you have an existing, for instance, Deputy County Council 1 at the moment, and they were hired as a 1 with those qualifications, are they able to bring that to the attention of, hey, you guys are now, offering a Deputy 2 position. I would fall under that, maybe I got hired a few months ago, but I would fall under that, are we promoting or offering that compensation or?
So we would offer it if the position was available. If there was a recruitment or a request for a recruitment for that level, then they can certainly apply.
Gotcha.
We also have a promotion by competitive standards process where they can apply. They're essentially competing against themselves, but there are requirements. They do have to be permanent.
Mhm.
So if they were, if they were hired just a few months ago, that particular process wouldn't apply, but it would be an opportunity a year from now versus 2 years. And then also there's the other option of a recruitment if the department has that, has the ability and the funding to request that position.
Right.
This has the appearance of dumbing down the employees that we're getting, both this item and the one before. But I understand what you're saying, that they're getting harder to get recruits to come in, so we're gonna become Again, a training base for other counties, because they're gonna go to other counties when they find the pay, once they get more experience. Would that be
Well-
a fair assumption?
Well, there are many factors. I know that money is a big consideration, when someone is wanting to move, but I think the culture or the atmosphere and some of the benefits we provide are more competitive than other counties. So I would hope that candidates would consider all of those things.
I do too.
Getting to live in the same county with us.
Yeah.
And some of the other counties who already have the minimum qualification, they actually may go to those counties because we don't have those qualifications.
Sure.
because-
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have a level playing field, or you're not gonna even be considered.
For me, I just always want to make sure that we're taking care of our current employees, right? So if we have a level one, their experience with Madera County should be valuable, and we should identify them, but identify those individuals and get them to apply for these level two positions if they desire advancement in their own career, right? So, okay. Any other discussion?
I'd like to ask a question. When you say support attorney, like right here, you got 1 through 4. Are these actual attorneys?
These are actual attorneys, yes. They are licensed through the State Bar of California.
And they're hired by the county.
Correct. So child support attorney would work in the child support or the Department of Child Support Services. And then our county counsel, our deputy county counsel currently works in our social services department. And then our deputy district attorneys, they work with our district attorney's office. So similar work, different topics, if you will, or different areas of specialty areas.
Move for adoption?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, at this time, I'd like to call for roll.
Commissioner Atwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Fry,
Yes.
Commissioner Iverson,
Yes.
Commissioner Rios,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
5-0 vote to approve.
All right, we're on 4D now. Amendment of Deputy District Attorney 123 Senior Classification Specification. And I would imagine this is similar to the
Yes.
first three, right?
You are correct. The education and experience section and the licenses and certification section has been amended to align with the others, and the bargaining unit was given the opportunity to review as similar to the other items and is also in agreement with the recommended changes.
All right, any discussion?
I move to approve.
We have a
Second
motion
it.
to approve with a second on the floor. Any discussion? And I'll accept a roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, and we're moving on to 4E. That's the amendment of supervising deputy district attorney classification specification. And again, this is in line, I would imagine, with the others. And I just want to go on record and just communicate to the people who go back and listen to this that we ask questions that you might have, but you are always welcome to join us here at the Civil Service Commission meeting and ask similar questions so you understand how things work. But the questions that we're bringing up serve the purpose of quenching any curiosity that might exist out there. And so 4E.
Yes, so you are correct. The final item before you is related to the previous items. The education and experience section has been amended, as well as the licenses and certifications section. The bargaining unit was given the opportunity to review and is in agreement with these recommended changes.
Just a comment, and I'm assuming you've all thought of it. The fact that it's a supervising deputy district attorney, I was a little concerned over the drop of the year's experience. Only because two of my degrees are in personnel training. And I get a little concerned when supervisors only have a few months of experience, and 3 years or 4 years is not a long time. But I'm going to assume that our staff has done
the great job they've always done, and this is probably par for the course up and down the state, so I won't object to it.
Yeah, so the supervising deputy district attorney requires 4 years of experience.
Instead of 5,
Correct.
so I can live with that.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so again, this is similar to what we had in place previously.
Right. Right, so
Yes.
I'm not gonna vote against it, so.
I have a question. Does this change put any current employees in range of this opportunity?
We have not taken a
Internal?
look at that. We haven't done any research to see where individuals stand in regards to experience. It would require, a
Yeah.
study of,
Right.
of the department. But again, if the position arises, this does give those employees an opportunity who may not have had 5 years of experience, but have 4.
Right.
So if the position does open up, then they would be able to apply for that and be considered.
Right. And I'm not saying, hey, let's bend the rules because we have that magic person. But if we have somebody who's up and coming and we're making amendments to our classifications anyway, that might be an opportunity to, to do a little bit of research prior and say, hey, look, we're doing this because we really want to bring in somebody who's been with us, and we think would do a really good job, right?
Right.
But
I did want to just add that it also is dependent on the number of allocated supervisors the department is approved for.
Mm.
So if they have 2 approved positions for the supervisor and they're already filled, then that would be something out of our hands.
gotcha.
And it
Okay,
also depends on department need.
perfect. Any other discussion? We are entertaining a motion.
Move for adoption?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And no discussion, we'll accept roll.
Commissioner Atwood?
Yes.
Commissioner Iverson?
Yes.
Commissioner Rios?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
Commissioner Perez?
Yes.
5-0 vote to approve.
All right, we are moving on to staff reports.
We don't have any staff reports other than thank you for your presidency over the year. And then thank you to Commissioner Fry for, this upcoming year as president, and Commissioner Iverson, as vice president. So next year will be your elected year as
It's the
president.
time to reach.
You are still on record.
Is that hearing that got postponed?
We have not heard anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No
No.
resolution?
No resolution, no update, so we can follow up, but I mean, generally, council is pretty good about keeping us updated if they do have new information, but we haven't received any proposed new dates, so
I think we should follow up on it because
yes.
we don't want to have it sprung on us when now's a good time to have one if we're going to have to
Mhm.
do it.
Yes, understood.
All right.
If
I have a question.
oh, Joe has something and then,
We still have the binders, the black binder you gave us? Is this what you're
Yes,
talking about?
yes, you still have those.
So we hang on to those?
You do, yes.
Yep. Told me,
You have to
please.
send me another one.
Well, that was a pretty big binder, so.
No, I didn't. I didn't throw it away.
Well, you're
Okay.
in. You threw it.
I just wanted, as a point of personal privilege, I wanted to mention to the Civil Service Commission that the Oakhurst area lost a wonderful highway patrolman about a week and a half ago, John Irwin, who served for 30+ years. Just an exemplary peace officer. And I know that the Board of Supervisors honored his memory. And I just wanted to share with you, we're so blessed in this county to have great employees and great law enforcement people who live in our area. And as I used to tell John all the time, well, you're rich with the warm affection of your community. Your bank account is probably shows that you're an honest cop. And so I just wanted to have that entered into the record. Civil Service Commission honoring all peace officers, but especially this month, John Irwin of the California Highway Patrol. A great guy.
All
Thank you
right.
for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that. All right, and this is my farewell at the helm here, and I
You
want to
did well.
thank you guys for all your patience and helping me navigate through. But the show must go on, so we are officially adjourned.
Thank you.
Hey, here's to the youth.